Awesome. Welcome everyone here to our High Thrive Coaching Masterclass. My name is Heather Choate. I am the co-owner and co-founder of High Thrive Coaching with my partner, Mark Johnston. And I'm super grateful and excited to be here with you guys today as we talk about how to end an affair in less than 3 weeks. Now, I know that that's a really bold statement, and I always want to be a person of absolute integrity. And so why would I make such a bold statement? Because I want to be able to stand by what I tell you. Well, I'll show you how I can stand by that here in just a little bit. But before we get into all of the steps here about how to end an affair in less than 3 weeks and why I can make such a bold statement, I want to let you guys know, I want this to be a very interactive experience, and I want to make sure that you guys have an awesome breakthrough today. It's not just about information, it's about the right information, but using that information to lead to transformation. That's what we're really about here at High Thrive Coaching, is not just information, but transformation. So raise your hand, let me know in the chat. Do you guys want some transformation today? Do you guys want to be able to get out of this awful, painful situation? Do you guys want to see if there's hope for you? Do you guys want to see what the next best steps are? All right, awesome. I see some hands being raised. So yeah, use the hand raise feature here in chat, here in Zoom, and use the chat to let me know where you're at. We'll be checking the chat throughout the masterclass, so please weigh in. We're going to do some exercises together. I'm going to give you guys some actual steps that you can take right away to work on this situation. Awesome. All right, and then Tanya is our coach actually that's joining us today. Let me see if I can find you. I'm usually not the one that does all this tech stuff, so give me just a second. I'm going to make you, Tanya, our coach here, a panelist. Therefore, you can answer some of the questions over in the chat. So everyone say welcome to Tanya. She's over here. She's going to be watching the chat for us and answering some of your questions throughout the masterclass. So super and grateful that you're here as well. Awesome. Did it work? Looks like it worked. Sweet. All right,
yes,
let's dive into it. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so I want to do an exercise. I want to being tongue-tied already. Okay, I'm going to do my best to keep the tongue not tied today. All right, so let's do an exercise. I want to know, what is your situation? Let me know over in the chat. What is your primary problem right now? A, I'm having an affair. Maybe I've had multiple affairs. I want to heal the damage. I want to have my spouse trust me again. B, my spouse is having an affair. Maybe they've had multiple affairs. I want their affair to end, to heal the damage and have trust between us again. C, my spouse has ended an affair. Maybe they had an affair, several weeks or months ago, maybe even a couple of years ago, but you're still having some lingering issues and some trust that you're feeling is not great, not where you really want it to be. So you want to heal and feel safe and secure in the relationship and know that an affair won't repeat itself, okay? And then D would be, I ended the affair myself. I want to heal the damage and help my spouse feel safe and secure with me again. So let me know where you guys are at. Okay, we do have a poll. Ooh, fancy. I didn't even know we had a poll for this one. No, that's just the basic, that's the basic poll. I want to do this. So never mind, we're not going to do a poll. Yeah, not this poll yet, exactly. This is a brand new masterclass. This is actually the first time we've rolled out with this. I wanted to wait until we had enough evidence to prove that this was going to work before we really went with this specific masterclass today. So you guys are seeing a brand new one. So if there's a couple glitches, appreciate your patience. All right, so we've got B and C. Thank you, Michelle, Jamila, Yanni, I believe B. Okay. All right, we've got a couple A's, B's, a B, a B, a B, another B, a B and a C. Wow, so a past affair and now another current affair. B, okay, D, awesome. And then a C. So quite a few, but definitely most of you are saying that you're in the B category, which is awesome. So thank you for letting me know. I mean, it's not awesome that you're there, but it's awesome that you guys gave me that feedback. So now I can know a little bit to go deeper on when your spouse is having an affair currently, or they're having multiple affairs. Okay, so thank you guys for weighing in on that. So I also want to give you guys a gift to reward you for coming to the masterclass today. You guys are the action takers. I know we have one or two people here that got up at 1 or 2 in the morning from Australia to join us right now. We have some over in the UK, all around the world. You guys are showing some serious dedication and you're wanting some serious solutions. And I want to reward that. So we have a brand new guide that's normally like a $47 type training about how to have your spouse, not worded quite right here, but how to help your spouse stop having an affair. And so we're going to go ahead and put the link to this brand new guide over in the chat. You can go ahead and grab it and start using it right away. It's going to cover some of the same points I covered today and also offer a couple exercises that you can do as like the next step of, applying what we talk about today with the coaching program. So go ahead and grab that. It's our gift to you guys. Awesome. So I haven't seen it yet in the chat, but we will put it over there. My team members are helping me out with all that stuff. So they'll go ahead and post it. And then as soon as I see it, I'll let you guys know it's over in the chat. All right. So why can I make such a bold statement here that you could end an affair in 3 weeks or less? All right. Because that is a bold statement. And like I said, I always want to be a person of integrity that, go back. I accidentally clicked it. There we go. I want to be a person that I mean what I say. So why I know I can stand by this and saying that, yes, we can have your spouse end an affair if they're currently having one right now in 3 weeks or less, and then go into the healing and the reconciliation phase and restoring trust phase so you can both feel safe and secure, because we've now helped thousands of couples that have gone through the same kind of situation. Okay. We've been doing this a long time. Like I said, I'm the co-owner and founder here of High Thrive Coaching, and my partner, Mark, and I have been doing this. Oh my goodness. I just put the chat up really big. I don't know if you guys saw that. This new laptop, I'm still trying to figure it out. We've been doing this a long time, and we've truly helped tens of thousands of students. In fact, we have over 14,000 active students in our programs right now. And we've been doing this since 2016. And so we are going to share with you what has helped our clients that have successfully overcome the heartbreak, overcome the challenges, and how they've overcome the affairs so that they can heal fully. What I'm going to share with you today, no, you have not heard this from your therapist. You haven't heard this from your pastor, your favorite YouTuber, because no one else even knows this or is even talking about this. Okay. So I want to know, what have you already done to try and solve this? Let me know over in the chat. Okay. Have you tried therapy? Have you tried counseling? Right? As a lot of people think, okay, we're not doing so good, we need to go to counseling or therapy. Have you talked to your pastor? Have you talked to your friends, to your family? Have you gone to YouTube videos, self-help books? I'll raise my hand and say I'm the first. I've done all of these things. I read The Love Dare like 5 times. I've done the love languages, all of that. Yeah, Glenn says all of the above. Dulce is raising her hand as well. Larry tried therapy, talked to friends and family, and books. Jamila, self-help therapy, other programs. Try to do it yourself. Awesome. How many of us have tried to work on yourself or have been told that to save your marriage or to end an affair, you should just work on yourself? Raise your hand. Let me know, because I've heard this over and over and over again in increasing amounts over the years. And this is a really common thing. Yeah, working on yourself. And so do you guys want to know why all of these haven't worked for you? Like if they had already worked for you, then you wouldn't be here, right? Right? So going to therapy, working on yourself, doing all these do-it-yourself kind of methods, self-help books, YouTube videos, all these things, they're good for you. Like working on yourself is good. It's always good to progress. It's always good to become a better person. And most people out there are doing that. And so if most people out there are working on improving themselves, and that was the solution, then everyone would have a happy marriage. Everyone would have a faithful spouse, right? So can you see that in and of itself, it's not the solution for ending an affair and having a healthy relationship? If it was, then you wouldn't be here, right? And if it was, then everyone else out there working on themselves would have a great relationship. But the bottom line is they don't. Yeah, Glenn says, that I am. I've been working with High Thrive for almost 2 months now, and I've seen a lot of progress. Awesome, Glenn. Excited that you're here and you can share kind of some of the experience that you have now that you're going through the coaching program and using the right method to end the affair and have a healthy, thriving marriage. So that's super awesome. Yeah. All right. So I want to ask you guys again, so this is interactive. It's not just me talking. Okay. You got to do this with me if you want to get something out of it. All right. So where do you guys want your marriage to be 3 months from now, 1 year from now, 10 years from now? Where do you really want your relationship to be? I know some of you talked about, this is so painful and I'm not even sure if I should just give up at this point. So where would you really like to be though? Would you like to be in a place of clarity? Like, where you're going and what you really want in a relationship that you experience in this lifetime, right? What does that really look like? How would you like to look back on this time in your life at the end of your life? I just want you guys to think about that for a little bit, because so often, and especially when I'm talking to people that are going through affairs, their partners being unfaithful, not honoring their vows, breaking promises, breaking their heart, it's really easy to step into a lot of victimhood and easy to feel really hopeless and to feel like they have all the control here and that there's nothing that you can do. But I really want you to take an empowering step here and to think about, who do you really want to be? Where do you want to really have your relationship be? And step into that power, because if you don't decide where you want to go, then who will? Who will? Like, your spouse is already making the choices that they're making. And so if you just leave it up to them, is it likely that they're just going to suddenly come back to you, end the affair, and make all your dreams come true? Very unlikely at this point, right? Not impossible, but unlikely that they're just going to do that without anything, without any other reason, right? So we need to give them reasons why they're going to do that. And I'm going to talk about how we do that here in a little bit. So I'm going to go over here to the chat and see where you guys are at, where you really want to be in your marriage. Trish says, I need to learn to trust him again and feel safe. I want the affair ended. I want the other person out. Awesome. So let me know. I'm not seeing a whole lot of things. Yeah, Tanya's answering you. Yes, Trish, trust is a super big issue that is so important to shift the marriage. You guys let me know where you're at, because if you don't choose this, then there's nothing really that we can do or anyone else can do, because you are the only one that chooses where you want to go. Lisa says, affair ended, my husband back loving me. Michelle, I need to learn how to trust. Awesome. Beautiful. So what would that feel like? Say 3 months from now, 6 months from now, the affair is ended. You're working on healing things. You're working on restoring things. How would that feel at the end of the day? How would it look like? Like, what would their expression be on their face when you come home at the end of the day? I need to learn to trust him again, feel safe. Yep, I just read that one. Awesome. All right. I skipped a few. Seeing trust, books have not worked, counseling's not worked, friends are not helping. Yeah. Lainey, I want him to end his affair and come home. Dulce, I want a faithful husband and an excellent father figure. Larry, but how can that work after divorce is finalized? Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, Larry. That's a different kind of situation, and that requires a different kind of perspective here. Ash, you would feel happy and content. It would feel like everything to me. To our boys, I want to be loved and respected. Okay. Secretly continuing affair. She still doesn't know. I know she's still loving towards me. I want to figure out how to deal with this in a strong way. Okay. Steve, I'm assuming you don't want just a strong way, but like more of an empowered way and something that's not going to backfire, right? So how would that feel to really get there? To know that your spouse is committed to being with you, to knowing that you can trust them again, that you can both feel safe and secure in the relationship, and know that you're committed to each other, not just now, but for life. And to know that all the reasons why this has happened are now resolved and healed, and you're both moving forward in a beautiful, healthy way. How good would that feel to you guys, right? So like I said, so many people are just like drifting about in life and letting life happen to them. And they're not really directing where they want to go. They have no clue where they really want to go. And we know that if we let life just choose where we're going to go, life will often just rip us to shreds. And that's not what I want for you. I want you to step into your creatorship, into your empowerment, and to determine who you really want to be and where you want to go. All right. Now, I've been married almost 16 years with my husband, Ben, and we've had our shares of ups and downs, of trusts and distrusts, of broken promises, broken hearts. And going through that process, I understand it's so challenging. It's like the dark night of the soul, but you're the one that just gets to decide, is there going to be light at the end of this tunnel? Am I willing to step forward into that? Am I willing to empower myself and do some new things in some new ways so I can get some new results? If I keep doing the same things I've always done, I'll keep getting what? You guys got it, the same results. And if you don't like what you're seeing in your life right now, then you might want to consider doing some new things. And when you start doing some new things, you're going to get some different results. Okay. So my husband, like I mentioned, we've been married 16 years. He is a pilot and he actually teaches Air Force cadets here in Colorado how to fly. And he takes them up in the airplane. But before they do that, they always chart their flight plan. They determine where they're going to go. And what I've learned after they have taken off, and they're heading towards their destination, wherever they said they're going to go, that 99% of the time, they're actually off course, which I thought was really weird. And it's true of like all aircraft, like most of the time, it's actually off course from its final destination. And I thought that was weird because how do they ever get where they want to go if 99% of the time they're actually off course? And what I've learned that they do is they make these little course corrections. Here a little bit, there a little bit, like the wind blows them off and they have to course correct, or autopilot course corrects for them if they've got autopilot, right? Or sometimes they have to make some big course corrections, like an unexpected storm comes up. My husband was battling tornadoes in Kansas over the summer, which was super scary, but he had to divert 3 hours out of the way, go down to, more towards Texas, right? To be able to go to a safe place to get it back home safely. And sometimes they've got air traffic tells you got to go around again, or there's some military thing. And so there's sometimes they have to make big course corrections. But the bottom line is that they always focus on that end destination. And they make those little course corrections, sometimes those big course corrections. And when they do that, they arrive at their destination. And that's exactly what we want you guys to do. You guys just told me where you want to be in your relationship. You guys just said how amazing it would feel, how great it would feel to be able to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel trusting, to open your heart again, and to know that your spouse is committed and connected and faithful to you, right? So you guys choose where you want to go. Our job, what we do, is help you make those little course corrections. Sometimes those big course corrections. Right now, the affair is a big course correction in your relationship journey. And to get to the destination that you really want, we're going to need to make some big course corrections. But that's our job. We guide you on exactly how to do that. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Harvey, and everyone else over in the chat. I appreciate seeing what is going on over there. All right. So how do we help our clients successfully heal from affair? I need to minimize this a little bit there. Have a thriving marriage, whereas most programs and therapy and all of those things, those other attempts fail. All right. So I'm going to share with you, there are 4, with a bonus, proven steps our clients take to end an affair in 3 weeks or less. Like I said, I've been doing this so long that I can stand by that. And I know that when you do these things, it works. All right. And it works even if your spouse is wanting a divorce, even if you're currently separated, even if they're living with the other person, even if they're unwilling to work on it with you. Okay. So raise your hand if that's your situation. I think pretty much everyone's hand should be raised here, right? They're wanting a divorce. They're in love with someone else. They don't want to be with you, and they're unwilling to work on it with you. Now, I know some of you may be in the state where they actually are willing to work on it with you. And we're going to talk about that as a little bit different approach, right? All right. So what is step 1? Here's where we get into the meat and potatoes, okay? Step 1 is where we do a root assessment of your marriage. And most people miss this step completely, which is a big mistake and why most couples never recover from an affair, okay? It's like I'm a breast cancer survivor. So it's like a cancer patient never goes in and gets accurately diagnosed. And so what are the likelihood that they're just going to spontaneously go into remission without doing anything and without even knowing what's really going on? But that's how most people are handling their marriages and their relationships. So what we do in the root assessment is we scientifically assess your marriage, and we determine what the root issues and perceptions are behind their story. behind the reasons why they're having this affair, behind the reasons why they say they're not happy or they're not getting their needs met. Okay. So I want to know, what are your spouse's stories? What are their reasons justifying what they're doing, excusing their behavior, or what is their belief or perception about you and the relationship? Because this is the big discovery that we made that no one else is talking about, because this story is so powerful that unless we completely unearth all of the root issues behind the story, they most likely won't come back to you. So yeah, here's some common ones. Shelly, he says, I don't appreciate him. What about, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. We never communicated. I can't trust you. I'm not happy here. I'm done. Yeah. What else are we seeing here? All right. What else are the stories, the reasons why your spouse is doing this? I don't feel romantic connection with you anymore. The changes are only temporary. Glenn, you know this. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, I see that you're making some changes, but they're only temporary. And if I come back to you, then I won't be happy. And so I'm not going to come back to you, right? So maybe it's like you won't change, or I see that you're changing, but the changes are just temporary. And either I don't notice them or I don't care, or I'm afraid they're just a manipulation to try to get me back, right? Addiction, extended family, mom, stepkids. Okay, those are some of the reasons as well. Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. So he says he just wants to be single, Shelly said. All right. So that right there, my friends, do you realize, like, you're not alone? Everyone here has a spouse with a story about them, a story about the relationship, and these justifications or excuses for why they're doing what they're doing. And here's the kicker. Most of us, we can guess what one or two of the root issues are behind their story, because here's a huge wake-up call, okay? The story, the reasons why they're saying, like, I just want to be single, or you don't change, or you don't listen to me, we don't communicate, or you don't appreciate me. Those are the symptoms. That is the surface level. It is not the real issue, okay? But most people focus only on that symptom or only on that surface level thing, because we think that if we just change that one thing, then they're going to want to come back to us, or they're going to want to leave the other person and be faithful. And the reality is that underneath that surface level story or reason or justification are 3 to 4 of these deeper root issues that are causing them to believe this belief. And they've built up this belief over the past weeks, months, sometimes years. Okay. And sometimes, like I said, it's a justification, so they don't have to feel guilt or shame about what they're doing. And sometimes it's a defense mechanism that they don't want to be hurt. And so they've built up this belief. And here's the hard thing, okay? So you might guess at what 1 or 2 of these are, but there's always 1 or 2 more that you're just completely unaware of. You're completely unaware that this is going on inside their head. This is going on inside their heart. And unless we unearth all 4 or 5 of these root issues, then you won't likely heal from the affair, and they won't likely come back to you and have a healthy relationship long term. All right. So let's see if this is true of you. Have you been blindsided? Let me know in the chat. Were you blindsided? Did you have any idea that this was going on? Were you clueless about the affair for a long time? Did it totally shock you? Did you think everything was fine? And then you found out that for them, they're saying it's not been fine for a really long time, that they've been unhappy for a really long time. Let me know. Raise your hand. Put it over in the chat. Okay. Yep. Glenn says yes. I see some hands being raised. Right. Or are you asking yourself, how could my spouse do this? How could they think this about me? How could they be doing what they're doing? How could they believe that about me? How, who is this person? And where did the person I married go? Yeah, you got your hands raised. Yeah, exactly. Blindsided, no idea. Lisa had said, yeah, you think you knew, Shelly, a part of you kind of knew. Glenn says, yes, yeah. My audio is going in and out. Let me know. Is my audio going in and out? This is, like I said, a brand new laptop. So if it is going in and out, then let me know, because that would be concerning. I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Okay. Tanya says we can hear me. Lisa says you can hear me. Okay. All right. Well, Jamie, maybe it has to do with your speaker. So go check that out. Glenn says it's working fine. Okay, cool. Awesome. Just wanted to know if I needed to fix something on my end. Okay. All right. So you've been blindsided. You didn't know all of this was going on. You don't understand all the reasons why your spouse is doing that. And that's normal. You're not supposed to be a mind reader. But that's why it's so important that we scientifically assess your marriage and determine what's really going on inside the situation. And I've heard it said this way, which I think makes a lot of sense, that you can't read the label when you're in the bottle, right? You guys are in the bottle. You're in the bottle within your marriage. You're so close to it that you can't see it from the outside, which is why we come in as experts, because we do this day in and day out. We only focus on saving marriages, ending affairs, and having healthy marriage relationships. We're the ICU for marriages, okay? And we've helped, like I said, tens of thousands of students now. So we can read the label and we can tell you exactly what's going on. So you're no longer guessing, and you're no longer just trying to defend yourself against their story or their belief. Because raise your hand if this is something that you feel like you do. This is another big mistake that I see a lot of people making, and I want to make sure you are not doing this as well. They have this story. They have this belief about us. They have this rationalization, this justification, this excuse, okay? And what most people tend to do is get defensive and try to defend themselves against that story, rationalization, excuse. And what happens is then we just become more and more defensive with each other, and the walls get thicker and thicker between us, and we end up pulling further and further apart. Because here's the hard thing: whether their story's true or whether it's not true about you, or whether it's a mix of both, doesn't actually matter. Like, I get that it matters a lot to you because we don't like it. I don't like it when someone has a negative belief or perception about me, but to them, it is true. Whether it's true or not, mix of both, completely untrue, completely true, doesn't matter. To them, it is true. And until we help them let that story go about us and about why they're doing what they're doing and all the reasons, the root issues here, then they will not come back to you, and you will not be able to restore the relationship. But the good news is that what we do is help them let that story go completely about you, so they want to be with you again. That's how powerful the story is, okay? So if you feel like you're being defensive against their story or their justifications or their reasons, then be really mindful that that's only going to be pushing them further away, and it's not going to get them back, and it's not going to resolve anything, okay? I'm giving you some tough love because I want you guys to be successful, and sometimes it's needed, right? So after we do the root assessment with you guys, we determine a couple really important things here, okay? We see if you fall into one of the two categories: A, broken trust with your spouse's commitment or willingness to potentially work on things, okay? Maybe they're in the teeter-totter effect. Let me know if that's you. Raise your hand. My spouse well, maybe wants to be with me, and then all of a sudden says, no, I want to be with this person. And then they're considering going with me, and then, no, I want to be with this other person. And they play back and forth, the teeter-totter effect, kind of like the ping pong match. Yeah, some of you guys, 5 of you are raising your hands. Okay, so that's an exhausting and challenging place to be, but I want you guys to know it's a powerful place to be. There's so much opportunity for you to get this going in the right direction. Some of you are saying, yeah, my spouse isn't willing to work on it with me at all. They're not willing to go to sessions. They're not willing to change. They're not willing to end the affair. Everything I do, they just absolutely shut me down. That is a situation that can be healed and solved as well. Okay, so you progress from that kind of a place to the teeter-totter effect, and then to the place where they are willing to work on things with you. So with your spouse's commitment and willingness to work on things. All right. So we decide which of those 2 or 3 different categories you fall into. And then we're going to give you the next course correction to get to the next milestone of the journey. Another thing we do in the root assessment is assess your marriage to determine its marriage health score. You may have never heard of that before, right? And the marriage health score is super important. Okay. Yeah. Shelly says you're at the teeter-totter effect, and then it went downhill. Yeah. So the teeter-totter effect is a really powerful time to start to sway things in the right direction. We just need to learn how to do it in the right way. All right, so your marriage health score. You may never heard of that. What is it? This helps us determine if your relationship is strong enough currently to go on to the next step of the course correction to get to your destination, right? Or if we need to build up some health and strength in the relationship first, okay? If we determine that your marriage has a low marriage health score, it doesn't mean it's impossible or you should give up. It means you need to do things in a different way, okay? Because one of the worst mistakes that you can make is to try and resolve deep root issues too soon. That's what most therapists and people try to do. So raise your hand. Let me know, have some awareness here. Am I trying to resolve deep root issues? Am I trying to resolve all the reasons why they said they're being with this other person? Am I trying to make myself the more attractive option? Like if you're doing any of those things, or you're working with a therapist and they're like, we need to talk about why this is going on. It's really normal. It's a really natural kind of way of thinking about it, because you think if I'm just going to be able to solve all these deep issues inside them right now, then they'll come back to me. But what you don't realize is that if your marriage has a low health score, that those efforts are going to backfire. And the bottom line is that your marriage may not have enough health or strength in the relationship to handle those at this time. Okay. Again, it doesn't mean you're not, like, you don't have hope. It means that we need to do things differently. So we determine if that's you have a low marriage health score, then it's like a medical patient that has a brain tumor, right? Which is like the root issue, and they need to go in for surgery. They need to get that tumor out. You need this affair to end. You need them to come back to you and commit, right? We need to solve those deep root issues that are causing this to happen. So we need to get them out so we can heal. But if this patient has a brain tumor and needs surgery and they come into the ER and they're in cardiac arrest, then the doctor is not going to perform a surgery on a brain tumor if the patient is in heart failure, because the patient likely won't survive the procedure, right? What are they going to do? They're first going to stabilize the patient and get them healthy and strong enough to handle the surgery successfully. Make sense? So similarly, I can't even say that word, similarly, your marriage, it just may not be strong enough right now to address the deeper root issues, which is why the root assessment is so vital. We don't want to destroy an already fragile relationship by solving problems out of order. Any of you guys just have a big aha moment here? Okay, I've got some hands raised. Yeah, you guys have questions about that? All right, does this ring true? Okay. Yeah, some of you guys are raising your hand. You're like, yeah, I've been pushing to get these deep root issues resolved, and it's just pushing them further away. And I feel like I'm losing my spouse even more. That's a clear indication that your marriage might not be healthy and strong enough yet to handle that. So what do? We uncover how you may unintentionally be pushing them further away, and how what you might be doing that you think is even the right thing may actually be backfiring, and you don't even realize it. So we do all of that right off the bat in the root assessment, right after takeoff, right? We're on our flight, heading towards our destination, and we go in and we deeply assess exactly where you're going to make sure that we are able to help you have the correct course corrections, okay? All right, now Joe shared this with permission. He says, huge win. I love that. Wife broke up with the boyfriend. I'm so high on this feeling right now. Now I knew this would happen because God sent me signs saying he would. Now with this awesome group and coaches, I'm going to continue my transition to the best version of myself. And she's going to see it and want to be a family again. God is good. Stay strong, positive, and faithful, my friends. So just like Joe here, we've determined that your relationship has an acceptable marriage health score, and it is strong enough. Now we move you to step 2. So if you're not currently strong enough, we show you how to build up some health, how to build up some strength, and how to create some stability in the relationship so that then we can move on to step 2. Make sense? Okay. So step 1 is a beast, but it's got to be done in the right order. And we'll show you exactly how to do that. And then let's say now you're at a situation where your spouse is willing to work on things with you, or willing to consider the possibility of ending the affair and coming back to you. The teeter-totter effect, right? First, what we're going to do that root assessment. Get your spouse to hit the pause button so they're no longer running further away from you. And now we move into the teeter-totter effect, okay? All right, so what do we do in step 2? Addressing the major concerns that created the affair. So your ability to ask for the affair to end depends on how much the cheating partner wants to maintain the marriage, right? If there are huge problems in the marriage, then you requesting the affair to end without addressing their concerns usually will not accomplish much. Raise your hand. You're like, okay, I've been there. I'm going to say that one more time. Huge problems in the marriage, and you're requesting the affair to end without addressing their concerns isn't going to lead to much, right? It's going to fall flat, and it's often going to backfire as well. Okay. So it's important that we do this. If there are major problems in the marriage, then the first priority needs to be addressing those issues instead of focusing on whether the affair is over or not. Okay. It's okay to ask for the affair to end, just that your expectations should be limited. So it's really important that we go in and address what their concerns really are. All right. Holly went through this process earlier back in 2019. I remember it was when everything was kind of crazy, but she was making incredible progress even with that. And she shared, huge win. He will leave the other woman and focus on his mindset and make effort on our relationship. She talks about it will take time. We want our marriage to be successful and not fall into the same routine or distress it was once in. He is scared. I am too, but we both have hope. He said he would never love anyone how he has loved me, that he married me for a reason. I said, I haven't given up a hope for a reason, that we deserve a true chance to live a happy and healthy life together. He said he wants it to go back to how it was when we were at our best. I said, what if it could be even better than ever before? I believe it's possible. I pray this is real. Please, Lord, let this be real. I'm focusing on what I can control, showing love, understanding, support, and growing into the best version of myself. So place from where her husband was with another woman for several years as well, an ongoing affair that she suspected but didn't confirm until a few months before she joined with us. And then within just a few weeks, her husband left the other woman and they did fully reconcile. And their marriage is, in their own words, better than it ever was before, which is the power of going through this process, right? And then that leads us to step 3. After we've addressed their concerns, protecting the relationship so it can heal. Now, I know some of you mentioned being in category C and D at the beginning, where the affair is actually ended or you ended the affair, but there's still some of these lingering issues. And if you feel like there's still some lingering issues, some people can get stuck in this stage for a long time, which is really a challenging place to be. And it's absolutely unnecessary. You can absolutely heal as we go through step 3 here. And this is all about creating boundaries to protect the relationship, especially from ongoing interactions with the affair partner. Now, I get it. I've talked to so many of you guys and coached so many of you guys as you're going through this process that sometimes it's really scary. You let me know how scary it is to set a healthy boundary with your spouse. You're afraid that you're going to push them away or push them further towards the other person, and that the healthy boundary is going to backfire. And maybe you're also, maybe sometimes I talk to, normally women, but I don't want to be stereotypical, but sometimes have a hard time of being really firm and saying, this is what I need here. Okay. And so we guide you on exactly the boundaries, secure and protected. Okay. And protecting the relationship so that it can heal. So if you are actively addressing issues within the marriage, then it's okay to make some demands here. And we'll show you what the correct demands are and how to have those conversations and have them not backfire. If you want the affair to be over, then both partners need to be involved with communication ending the affair, okay? Steps need to be taken to cut off communication and contact from the affair partner completely. Okay, I want this to be really clear. It is never appropriate to maintain a friendship with an affair partner if the marriage is to be healed. Now, this is something you need to work on with your partner, with your spouse. They need to be on board, because if you just push this or demand this of them, it's only going to backfire. And that's not what we want. But we also want it to be very clear for all parties concerned. This is a very clear agreement. If you have had unclear agreements, unclear boundaries, unhealthy boundaries in the past, this is where in step 3, we build up some health in the relationship so that you both are safe, secure, heard, and respected. Sound good? Who here would love to get to step 3? If you haven't gotten to step 3 yet, if this sounds like something that's so far, but you are Yes, I would love to get here. Sarah raised her hand. Awesome. And we can absolutely help you get there as well. Oh, Kaylee, so cute. She's so fun. She said, my husband left me for someone else, told me he hated me and demanded divorce so he could be rid of me because I was the one thing that stood in the way of his happiness. We had a lot of darkness, zero contact, and I saw no hope at all. Sound familiar, right? There were times that even though I saw wins, I didn't see progress. We've had a lot of ups and downs. You can click on any of our names and see all of our progress she shared there on Facebook, right? Now we're friends again and talking more. He broke up with the other woman and took divorce off the table. All right, his brand new apartment is decorated with our stuff. We're even having dinner tonight. I'm seeing the man I fell in love with. I've learned a lot of things that have changed me, and my entire life is better for it. I second everyone's advice here. It's definitely not an overnight process, but mindset, consistency, forgiveness, and selflessness are really important. Take this one step at a time, no matter how small. There is hope and you can do this. I love that. So how great would it be to experience what Kaylee did? Let me know. Would you love to get there and see the person that you love again? See your best friend back and committed. I mean, he flat out told her that he hated her and that she was an obstacle to his happiness. He wanted to be single. He wanted to go do whatever he wanted with whoever he wanted, right? And to the place now where he's willing to work on it with her. They're spending date nights together and making such incredible progress. Yeah, Michelle, you said, I love that. Awesome. We can help get you there too. But just like Kaylee, we're not done yet. We still have step 4. Step 4 is the final piece of this whole journey to getting you to that destination you said you want to get to, which is nourishing the relationship so it can grow. Okay. Here we create different kinds of healthy boundaries that allow the marriage to flourish. We do this by creating time for you both to enjoy each other again and rebuild personal commitment and enjoyment of the marriage, okay? So this is now where the wounds are starting to heal and we're needing to bring in some strength and enjoyment in the relationship again, all right? A big part of why affairs happen is because needs within the marriage become less prioritized or unmet. Boundaries need to be created surrounding the marriage. To protect it from kids, I have 8 kids. I absolutely have to protect my marriage from my children. It's a must. It's a survival. All right. It's date night tonight. I'm excited to go out with my husband, but I'm like, see ya, 8 beautiful children. I love you, but I'm done. I got to go spend time with your dad, right? From your jobs, from your careers, from other relationships, etc. Even from family, sometimes we need some healthy boundaries there to protect this relationship and nourish it, meaning that there needs to be space carved for the marriage to be enjoyable again. All right. Now, what does this really look like? I'm going to be honest. I'm not here to paint a fairy tale. It's a little awkward. It is. It's a little awkward at first, and that's actually okay. It's normal. It's expected. It's like you've had this wound. I just hurt my foot the other day. I was at the hot springs with Ben and I scraped my foot on the bottom of the pool and got it all cut up. So it's in the process of healing. And right now it's really awkward. It's itchy. I know this is kind of gross. Sorry for the medical references. It just comes to my brain. And it's kind of awkward and it's not this really fun stage, but I know that healing is occurring just like with you guys. It's going to be a little awkward, but time together is needed to get to know each other and enjoy each other's company. There's no excuse. If it's awkward, then there needs to be a discussion to work on that and to fix that. And we'll help you guide you on how to have those discussions, how to overcome some of the awkwardness, how to overcome some of the heartbreak and talk about, that hurt and have a safe place that you can do that. And it's not going to push them further away. And you're actually going to be able to understand where you're both really coming from, which is a beautiful place to be, that you can talk about anything and be accepted. So there needs to be acceptance that things aren't going to be 100% at first. We're not jumping from here to the moon in one leap, right? This is a journey. It is a process. So ideally, we have a narrative or an expectation, right? Built in that awkwardness is actually okay. And that you're working towards things becoming more enjoyable as a couple. All right. So that's what we see in step 4. Now, some of you guys know Leah. And she is amazing. She went through this program 4 years ago, and her husband was having an affair and told her a month before their first child was to be born that he wanted to leave her and go live with this other woman. And she says, for those needing a little hope, strength, or inspiration, when you feel like giving up, Stick with it. If your marriage is important to you, don't give up. And remember, you're not fighting your spouse, you're fighting Satan, in her words, right? He wants to take your marriage and destroy it. It is worth fighting for. Keep working on yourself and don't hide yourself from your spouse. Let them see the change in you, not just hear you say it, but show them, and don't stop showing them. I've been fighting for my marriage for months. My husband didn't know what he wanted anymore, me or the other woman, but I didn't give up. I kept fighting. I kept praying and turning to the Lord for strength. And now my husband has come home. He left the other woman and is working on our marriage with me. We aren't through this chapter in our lives together yet, and we still have a ways to go to rebuild our trust in each other and have a stronger marriage. But the point is, it is possible. So even if you're thinking it's the end, it's not. Don't give up. Keep fighting. My husband and I are going to be celebrating our 5-year wedding anniversary next month. And I have a feeling it's going to be one of the most blessed anniversaries we've ever had together because of what we are overcoming. And now, like I said, they've been married. This was 4 years ago, and they have 3 children now together. And it's amazing. And she says, when I ask her, what was it like going through that experience? And she says, it was the most challenging thing I've ever been through, but it was the best thing that's ever happened to us. And I asked her why, because I have a lot of clients that tell me that, like, the affair was one of the hardest things, but it was actually the best thing ever because it allowed us to heal. It allowed us to become who we really needed to be and resolve those issues that we had before the affair even happened. And now we can say we're truly connected and truly happy together. So raise your hand if your heart craves having what Leah did, like what she has now. Your heart craves being able to get there and have your family together and be an example to your children and show them that, you know what, everyone around you might be saying to give up. Some part of you might be saying to give up, and that's okay. Like, that's normal. There's going to be those ups and downs. Maybe your therapist is saying you should just move on. Your pastor is saying you should just move on. And your mom and your dad and your sister and your best friend and everyone's telling you just give up. But something inside of you says, I need to do this. Something inside of you says, I love this person and I want to see if it's possible. I don't want to live my life with the pain of regret, knowing that I had a chance to do something and I didn't do it. Yeah, so you guys are raising your hand. That will be awesome, right? And I can't wait for you to get there and to share your story with me too, just like all of our clients. So I want to know, what do you guys think is going to help you get there the most? Is it A, having a coach do the scientific assessment so my efforts don't keep backfiring or I accidentally push my relationship further than it can handle? Are you wanting to know what's on the label, right? You're in the bottle, you can't read the label. Are you wanting someone to help you read that label and assess exactly what's going on here and prescribe the exact treatment plan to have your spouse leave the other person in 3 weeks or less and heal the relationship long-term? Awesome. B, help me ask my partner to end the affair and have it work in less than 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now, guys, you're like, yeah, I want that affair done. 3 weeks from now. That's not that far, right? What is it today? The 12th? So by the end of, what did that be? Early December? Can't do math very well in my head. Early December, their affair is done. How would you love to be there? Do you guys really feel like that would be helpful to you? Let me know in the chat. Now, Glenn's raising his hand, so me raising your hand. Or is it C, show you how to have healthy boundaries that won't backfire? Help us both feel safe, to feel secure as you move forward. Or D, have a coach guide you on how to create enjoyment in the marriage again, even if it's awkward at first. So we both want to spend time together and you're both healing. Jamila says A and B. Awesome. Some of you guys are saying C, you're wanting help with healthy boundaries. Awesome. All of it. I love it. Every single one you feel like you need help with. Shelly says A, Glenn says A and B. Okay. So a lot of you guys are saying A, the root assessment is super important to you. Michelle, all of it. Awesome. Yeah, we can absolutely help you with every single one of those. So whatever your heart is calling you to, whatever that destination is that you say you want to get there, you guys, you can do it. We will help you make those course corrections so you get there. Awesome. Yep, we can certainly help you get there. Whoops, there we go. All right, so now you might be thinking, okay, Heather, this all sounds great. I would really love that. I would love for my, partner to end the affair in 3 weeks or less. I'd love for us to heal and restore trust and have everything that we just talked about. But maybe I don't have any money right now. This might be too expensive. Maybe that's a concern for you. Well, you have a couple options right at this point, right? You can keep doing what you've been doing, and you can keep getting what you've always gotten. You can try to do it yourself. You can try the therapy, other cheap or free options out there. You could just give up, right? And all of those we know are going to be ineffective. They're going to backfire. They're often going to lead to more infidelity and often to divorce as well. So what we do is we help save your marriage for less than attorney fees, right? If you guys are paying attorney fees, you know how much that is, less than the cost of having two households, especially if you're doing that right now, you're paying two households, child support, on, and save you $30,000 on divorce costs. That's the average worldwide cost of divorce, okay? Maybe you're thinking, what if this just won't work for me? Like, what if it just doesn't work? What if my situation's special, right? Almost all of us, we think our situation's special, but I can guarantee we've helped people with way more challenging situations than yours, okay? So we'll show you how to make saving your marriage simple and enjoyable so that you can do it, even if you're a busy parent, even if you're an empty nester, right? Maybe you're thinking, Heather, we have struggled so long. These affairs have been going on for years. We've hurt each other so much. I've been hurt so much. He's been hurt so much. She's been hurt so much. I'm not sure if it's possible at this point. It might be too little, too late. Nothing's worked so far. Raise your hand if you're like, yeah, that might be what I'm thinking right now, right? Yeah, I've got some hands raised, and that's awesome. I appreciate your honesty, and that's where we're at. So we can help show you how to save your marriage, even if everything you've done hasn't worked so far, or you've had a hard time sticking to things in the past. And we'll go in and do that root assessment to determine exactly what those next steps are. So that's the good news. The bad news is, and there is some bad news, is that we only have a few spots open, okay? This is a brand new End an Affair in 3 weeks or less program. And we only have room to take on 8 clients into this new program because we just did our Halloween special, to Save Your Marriage by Christmas, which sold out. And we are a small coaching team. We're a team of 4 coaches. And so we only take on so many clients at a time, and our calendar is slammed. More people than ever are trying to save their relationship and seeing that it's possible. So because we only have 8 spots at this time, there's going to be several hundred people that will see this masterclass this week. And once spots are full, they're full. And I can put you on a waiting list, but I don't want you to wait. I want you guys to have that affair ended in the next 3 weeks. That's where I want to get you to, and have your relationship healthy and healed and restored in the next 4 to 6 months after the affair is ended, right? I don't want to wait. I don't want you risking moving closer to more ongoing affairs, to more hurt, to more distance and divorce. And I know you don't want that either. So if this speaks to you, if something in your heart is saying, I need to do this, I need to do this, I want to be with this person, I want to figure out how to make this work, and I want to do what actually is going to be effective and not backfire on me, then I encourage you to listen to that. Encourage you that if this speaks to you, to join right away so you don't miss out and risk your spouse moving further towards divorce. Glenn's already in the program. He's been here chatting with us. I love everything you shared, Glenn. I wish I could share all the wins that you already talked about. But the bottom line is that the program does sell out really quickly. So you guys want to hear what it is? You guys want to know more about this? Let me know. All right, we've got some questions over there. Michelle says yes. Heck yes. How important is saving your marriage to you? How important is it for you to have this affair ended? On a scale of 1 to 100, where would you guys say you're at? Some of you are saying like 100, 1,000%, 90. I appreciate the honesty, right? You're maybe a little unsure at this point. You're like, this is really hard. What's possible for me though? That's awesome. Michelle says 100. Awesome. All right, cool. Let's go into it. So the Gold Path Marriage Coaching Program, this is something that we've never really done until just recently. So this is brand new. So super excited. Like I said, we only have 8 spots for the End Your Affair in 3 week program. Okay. So what this is, it's our proven path process to take you through all 4 of those steps we just talked about. The root assessment, addressing all of their concerns about why the affair happened, healing all the root issues so they want to let that story go about you, how to help set healthy boundaries to protect the relationship, and then creating healthy boundaries and space for the relationship to fully heal so you both enjoy being together again, okay? So it's everything we just talked about, the entire process, okay? And that helps you save your marriage in less than 6 months without getting your heart hurt. It's all the steps needed to go from where you are right now, remember on the map, right? You are where you are right now to where you really want your marriage to be. You guys chose that destination and we help you get there. All right. So what is that all about? So it's $4,200 for 4 months. And this is exactly what you need to have your spouse end the affair in less than 3 weeks from now. Now, only people who sign up for the Path Marriage Coaching today for this Gold Path program will have access to these bonuses, and they're not for sale or available anywhere else other than through this program. If you go to our website, highthrivecoaching.com, you will not find this. Okay. There's no other way to get this except right here, right now. And I'm wanting to give you guys these bonuses because I know how much your marriage means to you. And you've shown some serious dedication showing up today. And I want to reward that. Those that come to our masterclass are always our best students, and you guys get the best results. And I want to give you guys the very best. Okay. So here's the bonuses. Ready? Let's pay attention. All right. So we have fast track one-on-one coaching. This is where you get to work with us to save your marriage in less than 180 days. Okay. So what is this? It is 4 one-hour coaching sessions per month. Okay. With us as marriage experts to get 10 times faster results. Now, the one-on-one coaching program, we typically charge $300 a session. Yeah, we're not therapists. You want the best, that's the best. So that's a $4,800 value in and of itself. So that's the first bonus worth $4,800. This is for those, you've maybe struggled to stick with things in the past. Maybe you get confused partway through and you just don't know how to do something, right? Your coach is there to help guide you and help you get a breakthrough. If your spouse is checked out, unwilling to work on it with you, or you're just unsure if this is really going to work for you, what we do, we guide you through that root assessment and we assess exactly what's on the label of your bottle. We prescribe you that right treatment plan, and then we take all the guesswork out of the process. So you literally just do what your coach tells you to do, and you have absolute confidence in yourself and you get those results just like I shared with you guys, okay? Here you get feedback from your coach on how to apply the PATH process, on how to apply those 4 steps, on how to set those healthy boundaries, about how to communicate. Some of you mentioned I know she's having an affair, but I haven't even brought it up yet. And so this would be a great way that your coach will work with you and show you exactly how to bring it up and how to address having that really hard conversation. Okay. And if it's having the conversation of, you need to end the affair in 3 weeks, right? Well, they don't say it like that, but your coach will guide you on how to say it, right? And give you clarity and direction on how to make any course corrections that are needed so that you stop pushing your spouse away further, and how to open up communication. Some of you talked about we're not really communicating a lot right now. Your coach will show you exactly how to increase the number of communication opportunities that you have and how to make every single one of those opportunities ultra effective, okay? And how to have them actually want to spend time with you. You guys raised your hand. You're like, that's what I'd love to be. I'd love to be like Kaylee and Leah and Dawn and Tim there, right? I didn't share Tim's. I took it out, but Tim's is awesome too. There's so many. So you can actually relax and know that everything is going to be okay. All right. That's with the one-on-one coaching. And what we see happens here is that your spouse, they're going to warm up to you. They're going to start talking to you again. We're going to help you navigate through that, back and forth, the teeter-totter effect, right? So they actually want to be around you again, and that you feel safe. You feel secure, you feel protected, you feel respected, knowing that your marriage is now where you want it to be. That's what this program does, okay? So I'm actually going to skip V's story here. It's absolutely gorgeous. If we have time, I'll come back to it at the end, but she shares her husband left the other woman as well, and how this all worked for her. But I'm going to go on here to our second bonus. So first bonus, you get that one-on-one coaching worth $4,800, okay? Bonus 2. Bonus 2 is our 1 hour to restore trust group coaching. And that's worth $1,600, massive value for free. Okay. So what is this? It's a 1 hour group coaching session a week that fits your schedule. I know we have some people here that are international. We have some clients from Australia, New Zealand, UK, South Africa, all over the world. And so we make sure that we have times available so that you get the answers you need when you need them. And in the group coaching sessions, you get direction on how to apply the PATH process to where you are that week, how to respond to text messages. Yeah, Canada, exactly. how to have hard conversations, how to set those healthy boundaries, and how to get to the next milestone with your spouse. This is a powerful community. Tanya can admit to that. You know, she's gone to these and she knows how powerful they are. Coach Linda, Coach Mark, we all know how incredibly powerful this 1 hour to restore trust group coaching is. Okay. And what I really love about that, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but what I really love about it is that you get to hear from clients like Leah or Kaylee or Tim or Don, and you get to hear their successes and their wins. And they tell you, oh my goodness, Michelle, I was where you are. Oh my goodness, Lisa, I experienced that too. Harvey, I was right where you are. Jamila, Shelly, Glenn, yeah, Ash, you know Glenn, because you're in it. I was where you are. My spouse was doing that too. They had an affair for several years. I didn't know what to do. I was so confused. I was so heartbroken. And then they're like, just stick with it. Do it. It's going to work. Go set that healthy boundary right now. Go do exactly what Coach Linda told you to do, what Coach Heather or Tanya told you to do. It's going to work. Trust me, it's worth it. And then the really cool thing is that you get to be a senior student, and then you can inspire other new students that are coming in that are going through what you're going through right now. And you get to say, I was where you were, and now look at where we are. My spouse left the other person. They put their wedding ring back on. They're committing to me. We're actually renewing our vows. We're going to go celebrate our anniversary together in this incredible way. We're so happy. We're so safe. We're so secure. It's worth it. And you get to pay it forward to other people that are going through the same thing you did. And that's powerful. I mean, what a gift that you're going to be able to give them, that you can show them that there is hope and that it works, right? So what we do, you get help at lightning speed. We're there for you when you need it. We do more of what works and less of what doesn't. So you need more support, come to as many sessions, right? You want that, we're there for you. And that makes sure that you don't ever get stuck in any phase along the way, but you get immediate answers, okay? All right, I'm actually gonna skip Alex's as well, but it's super awesome. He's like feeling like we're a family again. All right, now our third bonus. So we've got the one-on-one coaching. We've got the Restore Trust group coaching. Now Rocket Reconnection training. Okay, this is worth $580 values. I love this training, and we've had so many students go through this that we can say with assurance that we've got actual data here to say that people that go through this, they get 2 times faster results in less than 30 minutes. So what is this? Okay, so what we've done here at High Drive Coaching is that we've distilled over 100,000 hours, okay, of training into 3 30-minute packed videos to give you the best and fastest methods to reconnect with your spouse. And plus, you get to target your specific issue with your spouse. I saw some of you talking about addictions. Some of you were talking about mental health. Some of you were talking about, narcissism, midlife crisis, mental health challenges, how to forgive, how to heal past pain. Again, how to end the affair in less than 3 weeks. That's why we're in here with this program, right? So what's really cool is you get to go to this vault, and within just a click of a button, you'll have the exact answer that you need for that exact specific situation without having to shift through hours of training videos. And that gets you the solution you need easily and immediately. And what I love about that is that you are able to solve problems that maybe would have taken days or weeks or months or sometimes years in the past. You will be able to solve them in just a few hours, which is super, super cool. All right. Now, in addition to these 3 awesome bonuses, I have an extra bonus for you guys, which is super, super cool. This is specific for the End an Affair in 3 weeks or less program. Okay. So joining today, I'll add 4 30-minute End an Affair SOS bonus calls. Those normally cost $600, and I'll do that for free because I want to reward you guys as action takers. Okay. Yeah. Like Tanya says, you're worth working on your marriage. Okay. As coaches, we're dedicated to bring you the most scientific methods with compassion. Awesome. Thank you, Tanya. Appreciate that. So what this is, it's a session that you can claim at any time when something unexpected happens. Because you've already been blindsided, most likely there's going to be more unexpected things that are going to happen along the way, right? And so I'm not here to paint a fairy tale. Let's just be real. There's going to be some unexpected things, some curveballs that are going to be thrown at you. And when that happens, you're going to say, I want an SOS call. And you're going to get on a call immediately, right away with your coach, so you never feel alone. You never feel overwhelmed. You never feel confused, lost, and you get help immediately to overcome those biggest challenges so you can make those course corrections and get back on track. And again, you're going to be amazed at how fast issues that once took weeks, months are resolved and overcome in just a couple of hours. That's what our clients are experiencing. In fact, I just worked one with yesterday. Wife threw a curveball at him, said, I'm glad we came so far, but I just want to co-parent. I want to be single. And so I got on a call with him, and now he already has the solution, and the problem is literally resolved already right now, which is amazing. And that's what happens when you have the right method and the right support when you need it. All right. Another awesome client testimonial here. I'm going to skip through that too, but Scott shares how his wife left the other woman in less than 3 weeks and came back to him, and how happy they are now as well. Final thing, this is the one I'm most excited about. So drum roll. This one is awesome. We have 3 tickets left to an event that Mark and I are doing here. The next one's coming up on December 20th, and we charge $3,000 for this. But I have 3 tickets left worth $3,000. It's a 2-day unified marriage virtual event. And what this is it helps couples that are already fully reconciled get to the next level of intimacy, connection, and happiness, okay? So if you join today, then I will gift you one of those tickets worth $3,000 as a bonus, okay? And you can use this for when you and your spouse are both committed to working on the marriage, and it helps you, again, to get to the next level in your relationship and ensure that your relationship stays strong long-term. Now, I mentioned that the next one's happening in December, but it's valid for 12 months. And we're doing these about every month or 2. We don't do them too often, but when we do it, you'll have the opportunity to use this ticket as soon as you and your spouse are reconciled. So guys, get this. They're going to leave the affair partner in 3 weeks. We're going to help restore that trust. We're going to heal all those lingering issues. You're both going to feel safe and secure. You're both going to want to work on things together. You're both going to be committed. And now when you're at that place, now you get to go to even the next level and join me and Mark in the 2-day virtual event. It's going to help you get to even the next level of intimacy, connection, and commitment, which is going to be so exciting. I cannot wait to see you guys in that event and know that the affair is over and it's healed fully. It's going to be awesome. So just to recap, today, what we're getting is the Gold Path Coaching Program worth $4,200, plus these bonuses that are never for sale anywhere else other than through this program, which is the Fast Track one-on-one coaching to save your marriage in less than 6 months and end an affair in less than 3 weeks. $4,800 value bonus. Marriage healing group coaching, $1,600 bonus. Rocket reconnection training for 2 times faster results, $588 bonus. Additional 4 30-minute SOS bonus calls that normally cost $600. And for the first 3 that join, okay, because I can't offer this forever, but the first 3 that join, you guys will get one of those tickets valued at $3,000 to our 2-day unified marriage virtual event. It's almost completely sold out, but I do want to give you guys one of those to ensure that after the affair, when we get to there, and then we will, after the affair, then we're going to be able to take you to the next level in your marriage. So all of that combined, a little bit of math, $14,788, but today you can join for $4,200. Okay, awesome. But these bonuses are only available to the first few who join. Like I said, we only have 8 spots available, and only for the next 24 hours, because I'm sure we're going to sell out before that even happens. So we're going to post the link over here on where to join and how to do it. If you're ready to take the next step, and if you have more questions, let us know. We're here to help you. Okay. So thank you so much. It's highthrive-livecoaching.com/join-gold. Okay. So you should see this page I have right here. highthrive-livecoaching.com/join-gold. All right. If you're joining me live, you guys can go ahead and just click this offer page. Now, we do have this program right now with all the bonuses we just talked about. And Tanya's been working with you guys over in the chat. Super exciting. We've got those 4 emergency SOS calls and exactly what we just talked about with the $3,000 ticket to the 2-day unified marriage event. All right. So you guys are ready to join. All you have to do is scroll down here to the bottom of the page and join right here with this button. If you still have questions, if you're saying, Heather, I have some questions about this, or I didn't quite get this answered, or I'm a little confused about something, let me know, because this offer is really clear. It's really straightforward. It's really simple. We coach you, you do exactly what you say, exactly what we say, and you get results. You see your spouse come back to you, end the affair in 3 weeks or less. Okay. That's how it works. But if you have any questions, or if you're like saying, Heather, do you have a payment plan? Can you work with me on my budget? This is my financial situation. Then let's talk. All right. And let's see what options we can put together for you. All right. So yes, to answer some of your questions there, it is $4,200, and you can do a payment plan of 4 payments of $1,050. Okay. And if you're still saying, I would love to do this, everything in me is saying, yes, I need to do something. And I would really love to do this, but this is our financial situation. This is our budget. Then we'll talk. Okay. You can get on a call with Tanya here. I know she's been talking to you guys about the texting her. She gave her personal phone number there. There's no charge or anything for it. It's just her personal phone number. So please be respectful with that. And we'll see what we can do to come up with a payment plan, or maybe another program that might work a little better with your budget. Can't offer all of these bonuses for a lesser, program or something, but we can talk and see what will work for you. Okay. All right. Tanya, do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know if there's any questions that you saw that I was unable to address during the masterclass that maybe we want to talk about live with everyone here?
Absolutely. And I screwed up my phone number. So I put it just in there right there. Please text me. It is my personal phone number. Love to hear from you. A couple things when communication is completely shut down, that kept coming up over and over again. And then we were also looking at healthy boundaries and how, if I've already set a boundary and they crossed it, what do I do next? Mm-hmm. That was a big question of how they handle that.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. So with the communication, let's just do something we do in the root assessment, and we determine kind of your communication health score. So let me know, guys, over the chat, if which of these is your situation. Okay, let's just take like a pulse of how much you're actually communicating right now. Okay, so level one would be that you haven't talked to each other or seen each other in over a year. Like you've never seen each other face to face, no phone call, nothing. Okay. Level 2 would be that you've seen each other or talked a few times over the past year. Level 3 would be that you are blocked by your spouse. You really can't text them, but maybe you've seen them a few times in the past month. Okay. Level 4 would be that you are able to talk or communicate a couple times a month. Okay. Maybe it's text, maybe it's phone, maybe it's in person. Level 2 would be that you are able to talk or communicate a few times a week. Okay. Level 2 would be a couple times a week. All right. And then level 1 would be that you usually see each other about every day and you're able to talk about something, even if it's just surface level. Okay. I'm not asking you about how deep your conversations are or even what they're about, just how often are you actually communicating? Okay. So Shelly says 4. Okay. So you're saying, Shelly, that you are only able to talk to each other a few times a month. Let's see. Nope. I think I got my levels backwards. Did I mess it up as I said it? I think I did. I think I totally messed it up.
I think it was a little backwards on that. It was
backwards. So, I got lost in it. I usually have it on the slide, so I'm sorry. Let's start over. Okay. Totally messed it up. I'm sorry, guys. So level 1 is you don't talk at all. I'm sorry. Level 1 is you don't talk at all in over a year. And then level 5, I got lost in the middle of that when my brain started going backwards. Level 5 means you talk every day. So level 4 means you actually talk a couple times a week. Yes, there is a poll. Isn't there a poll? Oh, thank you, Diego. Okay, here we go. That's what exactly it is. All right. No communication, restraining order. 2, stonewalling, closed off. 3, you can talk, but it's volatile. 4, surface level, business-like. 5, friendly, but not romantic. 6, intimate, open, and trusting. Now that's a little bit more what you're actually talking about. And the level of your communication, I was asking more about like how often you communicate, but we'll just roll with this because I goofed. Sorry, guys. So go ahead and weigh in on the poll. That will let me know exactly what situation you're at then. Okay, so Michelle's saying 5 because you are talking a lot. Okay. You are talking almost every single day. A lot of you guys are saying every single day. Okay, so Ryan, is it truly a level 1 where you're never talking at all in over a year? If so, let me know. So sorry, guys, I didn't mean to. I didn't know what my brain just did there. That's so funny. Okay, so 5, you are talking every day. Okay. Wow. All right. So is anyone at the level where they're not talking even more than a few times per month? Okay, that's what I really want to know. because I'm seeing a lot of level 4s and 5s. You've seen some that are 2 that are closed, stonewalling, closed off. Okay. So the bottom line is that if you are talking even a few times per month, even if it's surface level, or even if it's really, cold or distant, then there is opportunity for you to save your marriage. That's what we've determined. If you aren't able to talk even a few times a month, then it does become pretty impossible, because you need to be at least communicating in order to build any kind of connection and turn this thing around. So if that is your situation, then I'm sorry, but there wouldn't be anything that we would be able to do, because you need to at least be talking a few times a month. Now, if you're talking and they're still really closed off and they're still really stonewalling you, then we show you how to overcome that. That's actually really common. And most of our clients start in that kind of a place. And so we'll show you how to get them to feel safe and secure to open up by taking the pressure off, by stop putting demands on them, stop begging, stop pleading, stop manipulating. Glenn's here. He knows all of these things. These are pretty basic parts of our PATH method. And then how to increase some understanding, how to increase some validation that this is where they are at. That's not to say that what they're doing is right or that you agree with it, but you're saying, I see that for you, this is where you're at. I see that for you, you do feel like you'd be happier here. I see that for you, you do feel like I haven't met your needs or that I don't appreciate you. I see that that is true for you. Okay. And as we do that, that's how we start to bring down those walls. So they start to feel safer, because we're giving them understanding. We're giving them empathy. We're not agreeing necessarily with what they're doing, but we're saying, I see that this is true for you. And that's an entire process. So we guide you on exactly how to do that and how to have those conversations. As those walls start to come down and you take the pressure off, then you start to really increase that understanding and that connection. And it gets to be a place where the tension of them being completely closed off, or things are really volatile, or things are just surface level, right? Or they're just not romantic. Then we build in some comfort and some security in the relationship at that point. So then you can start to be able to talk about anything. Then from there, we increase that to deeper levels of connection and closeness and intimacy and passion. Okay. Does that make sense? Sorry, I totally goofed that. Oh, that's so funny. I talk to toddlers most of the time, truly. And I hope I'm not confusing my kids as much as I. All right. Awesome.
Oh, that was awesome. I do have one more question. You spoke about this a little bit earlier, but it kept coming up. What if they crossed a boundary, they set a boundary, and then the boundary got crossed? What do they do then? They still want the marriage, but now they need to feel like they need to uphold the boundary.
Right.
We're stuck.
Yeah, that's what most people get really stuck with, this healthy boundaries and the restoring trust and having both people feel safe and secure and respected. So you set a healthy boundary and then it got crossed. That's when, as a coach, you'd need to say, okay, well, let's look at this. And every boundary, when you set it, actually needs to have some kind of natural consequence already tied to it. That way, both parties are completely clear on what's going to happen if the boundary is crossed. So at this point, it's gotten a little messy, and that's where most people are. And that's why it typically tends to backfire, right? Because now you're saying, like, if I just push for this boundary and I'm going to put some kind of consequence in, then my spouse is already gone. It's just not going to work at all. They're just going to move further away from me. You're right. So that's why it's really important that we would get in the coaching and show you exactly like where your relationship is at and maybe why this boundary didn't work, because we want to set boundaries that are going to be effective. And more often than not, they're not going to be broken. They're not going to be crossed, but they're going to be respected. And so we show you how to do that with your spouse in a way that's not typically going to be broken. And if it is, we actually have already talked about what the natural consequence or result of the boundary being crossed is going to be, right? Let me see if I can give you an example. All right. So we were just working with a client there, and they were talking about having a healthy boundary of, she actually just did an interview with us. So if you guys want to hear it, go onto YouTube channel. She just did it with me a couple of weeks ago. And so you can go ahead and check it out. I believe Christine, I believe. I just did it 2 weeks ago, but my brain obviously is like slow today. And she was talking about how with her husband, he was having this affair and didn't want to work with her, didn't want to work on the relationship. And so she set this healthy boundary that, okay, if you're going to be here and I'm not going to let you have your cake and eat it too. So that's one thing. So set a healthy boundary. And if you choose to do this continuing, then I'm not going to serve you in like a wife way. Okay. Which I know might sound out of context. I don't know. Just know that as we work with you, we make sure like this is the right boundary to work on with the clients. And so as she set this boundary, he did cross it and he continued to spend weekends with his affair partner. And so she said, okay, you're in charge of your own laundry. I'm not going to make you dinner. And, we're not going to be able to sleep in the same bedroom because I need to protect myself from STDs or anything else going on there. And so she stood her ground. And as he did that, it was a huge wake up call. Okay. Yeah. And this is another great podcast here that Tanya just put over in the chat, podcast 79. I believe this is Venus talking about going through affair as well. All right. So encourage you guys to listen to that if you want to and hear it in their own words, how it really works. So as she did that, then it was a huge wake up call to her husband. And it in turn allowed him to start to take some steps towards her. He realized, oh, wow, what am I really doing here? And so that's how we set healthy boundaries in a way that don't backfire and actually have a consequence already tied to them, so that then if the boundary is crossed, everything's perfectly clear and it isn't ineffective or backfiring. So where you are at this time, I would definitely encourage you to get on and do that root assessment so we can figure out what to do, given that you did try to set a healthy boundary and it wasn't respected, it was broken, and where to go from there so that we can make sure we get you the right solution as fast as we can. Yeah, awesome. So that's a great podcast episode over there that Tanya put in. Let me know if you have any more questions about that. All right. Any other questions, Tanya?
So we did have one more, and that one was the addiction and mental illness kept coming up of, are we appropriate for the addiction and mental illness?
Okay. Did they have a specific situation that they're going through, or they're just
well,
talking about?
they're dealing with they're in one of those states that passed the law that this is okay, and spouse is saying it's okay, and it's crossing boundaries, and they're not sure how to manage that, and how would we help them manage that is their question.
Yeah, absolutely. So we deal with probably, if I was to say, probably about 25% of our clients are dealing with alcoholism or addiction. And then probably another 25% with some kind of mental health, or actually probably more than that. There's a lot of depression and anxiety, and then sometimes some even more rare narcissism or split personalities. We've seen all of the different kinds of things. But what we do is very different than like what a typical therapy would do. We're not therapists, we're coaches. And so rather than looking at, every single like 12-step program or something like that, we go right into the root issue about what's causing these things to come up, and how to set some healthy boundaries with your spouse if they are dealing with addictions, if they're bringing substances into the home, if there's severe mental health challenges going on, if they are willing to get help, if they're not willing to get help. It's really a case-by-case type of situation. So I was just working with a couple earlier that he's an alcoholic. And so I'm working with her on how to have some healthy boundaries there, and what to say is okay, what's not okay, and how to actually enforce these things. And then also working with him on what is causing the need to drink and the need to go to substances, what is under all of that. Because bottom line, guys, is that inside every single one of us, we all are looking for a way to be happy or to feel better. Like that's, or to move away from some kind of pain, right? And so over time, though, we built up these coping mechanisms, we build up these limiting beliefs, we build up these subconscious patterns, and they continue to run the show for us until we choose to create a new pattern and some new beliefs and some new habits and some new subconscious hardwired programs there. And so that's exactly what we do. And when you address things at that level, then everything starts to change, because the drinking and the addictions, all of those things, and the affairs, they're just symptoms of a deeper problem. Okay. And so when we uncover what's really going on that's driving those behaviors, then we can those things are no longer there. You heal the root cause, then the symptom no longer presents itself, right? Just like when I healed from cancer, I no longer have cancer tumors showing up all over my body, right? So that's the same kind of situation there. Mental health is going to be case by case, okay? Because there's some situations that absolute professional help is needed to come in. And so we guide you on how to make those choices and how to have healthy boundaries in those situations as well. Awesome. So, all right. I am just out of time. I know that some of you talked about joining, so congratulations to those that joined. Super, super excited to have you in there and excited to have you in the Unified Marriage virtual event. That's going to be super exciting. So my friends, I hope that you have found this helpful and powerful and empowering for you to move forward. One thing that I absolutely know is that life brings us challenges and they come to all of us. And I believe that challenges are actually a gift if we choose to see them that way, and that life presents us these challenges so that we can learn something, so we can become better if we allow it. If we don't, it's okay. But the same challenges will tend to repeat themselves. And so you guys make an empowering choice of who you want to be and where you want your relationship to be and what kind of experience you want to have in this life. And we will absolutely help you get there. So thank you, Tanya, for helping over in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. I'm so excited to see you guys inside the program and look forward to seeing your marriages truly thrive. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you soon.